Hi, welcome to Dean Park. I'm Dave. In this video we'll be looking at the Oxford Mk3. As I indicated in my previous updates, I wasn't particularly happy with the colour representation that Oxford achieved on the lower side of the coach and the band just below the cantrail. Whilst this colour would have been accurate if scaled up to a real coach, when they've put it into 00 gauge form, it just doesn't have the warmth that the Intercity colour did in real life. That aside, this coach is a superb product and it's great value for money at £30. I mean, today to get a coach for £30 with this detail on it is actually pretty good. In this video I'm going to look at the reliverying of the coaches to closer match the Bachmann DBSO and 47 in the Scotrail livery. So I'll take you through a step by step from stripping the coach down and every stage of the painting process, so hopefully you can have a go yourself. This is the first time I've ever done something like this to a new coach. I've built models in the past, aircraft and scaled ships, so I know how to do a bit of masking and work my way around a project. However, this is the first time I've tried it on a model railway item, so it's quite exciting, and I hope the results bear fruit and justify my efforts. As you watch the video, you'll probably see a copious amounts of masking tape being used. As I say, it's all about planning ahead, see what you can do, and hopefully by the end of it we'll have a rake of improved Oxford Mk3s with the Scotrail livery. As always, please like this video, click the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to Dean Park, and also click the notification bell. That way you'll be notified of my future uploads instantly, so you can get to my channel quicker and watch the videos. Look forward to your comments. As always, I'll try to answer them all, and let's say, have a go yourself at doing this if you've got these coaches and you're a wee bit I'm not sure about the colours here. Hopefully this video will help you. Have the confidence to have a go yourself. Cheers just now. Removing the coach body on an Oxford Mk3 is not difficult, it's just very fidgety with regard to the jumper cables at the end, which have to be unplugged very carefully. Okay. Then there's clips round about where the lifting jack points are on both ends. I've done one end already. Just get your nails under there and prise the body of the coach out and upwards. What will happen is gently it will lift. Okay, ease it off. Try to kind of hold the seating compartment in position because it really wants to lift sometimes, and I'll tell you why in a second. And when you do lift it off, don't be tempted, having done all that careful work with your jumper cables, to lay it flat on the desk or they'll just snap. So lay it on its side, okay? The body sometimes wants to take the interior with it because there's a tiny little screw here which is too short, which holds the seating compartment to the underframe. This blue seating area actually holds the coupling mechanism, the spring, in place, so I would just tighten these as a matter of course. They're pathetically small, okay, so they really need to be a wee bit longer. I've even found myself gluing them in position just to stop them lifting and causing issues with the coupler. That can now be set aside, the steps and the jumper cables removed from the coach body, and getting ready to remove the Scotrail legends and mask it up. Okay, once I've got the body off, I've removed the small fragile cabling there by just pushing it out from the inside. Okay, and I've stored that beside the coach interiors. To remove the Scotrail legend and running number is very simple. What I've done at this end is I've actually put a bit of masking tape because the numbers are very close to the blue line. I don't want to start rubbing the blue line with my cotton bud. So I've basically got a wee bit of masking tape just covering it because I don't want to take off any more than I have to. Then what I do is I take a dampened cotton bud, just in normal white spirit, nothing fancy, and I kind of just rub that on and soak. Okay, I then do the same with the Scotrail legend. Put a bit of the white spirit on there, and I kind of just let it sit for a couple of minutes, and that'll soften the Scotrail writing. If you think you've put too much on, you can always dab it off with a paper towel. Okay, and then take a cotton bud and then just reapply some of the white spirit. I've left the white spirit for about a minute now just to kind of start to soften the print, and taking my cotton bud again, I'm just going to gently rub back and forward with the cotton bud, rotating it as well because it gets dirty, as you can see. And there we have it. Done. Dry off the white spirit. There you go. That's the first time I've ever done that to a coach. If I can do it with simple white spirit and a cotton bud, I'm sure you can try as well. Oxford legends tend to come off very easily. I know in experience of other people say that the Bachmann ones take a bit more of a persuasion to shift, but that was pretty straightforward and painless. Now that the coaches are masked up, it's time to apply the first coat of Intercity Beige, and for this I've come to Dean Park's multi-million-pound purpose-built paint shed, also known as the garden shed, to apply the first coat of paint. You'll see I've got an extraction system here with the hose there at the left hand side. That'll be extended towards the door so it takes all the fumes away. And the good thing about having the paint booth is that it draws all the paint in and any dust as well away from the model while I'm airbrushing. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run the airbrush with the Intercity grey past the grey sections to be painted on the coaches several times just to get a light application of the base coat of the colour. And then what I'll do is I'll wait for that to dry. I'll apply another light coat before taking the masking tape off. I'll then remask, obviously checking that there's no issues with the first paint application. I'll then remask it and then give it a gloss varnish. The gloss varnish will then act as the best surface on which to apply the water slide transfers. Okay, I've now applied 2 coats of the Intercity Grey to the lower side and the upper band of the coaches, and I removed the masking tape while the paint of the second coat was still a little bit wet. That just stops too much of a raised painting edge and a raggedy edge when you finally take the tape off. Yes, you're going to get a slightly raised edge because you're applying another couple of layers of paint on what was a pretty level and flat surface to start with between all the coats. Obviously the factory, they don't mask it up and paint it. They've got tampo processing that allows very smooth finishes of paint. However, I'm quite pleased with the outcome. By the way, the masking tape's still in the interior, so that's why the windows are kind of covered out. Quite pleased with the result, especially around the ends. We've got a nice sharp edge there, and the cantrail, which was a bit of a pain to mask, has been kept effectively and evenly throughout. So I'm very pleased with what I've done, and now it's really a case of masking it again. It's a bit of a pain, and I'm not going to bore you by showing you that on camera. Masking the whole coach apart from the lower section, which I'll give a gloss coat, and that'll take the water slide transfer. Then I unmask it again after the transfers are fitted, and then I'll mask it up to do the top band and the bottom band in a satin, which I'll show you in subsequent clips. Looking at the project that I'm doing compared to the out of the factory finish, while this is an excellent finish and flawless, it's just not the right colour, and I've already got a massive improvement and a more realistic finish to the lower side and the band of the coaches. As you can see, I'm back in the paint booth with the coaches, and they've been masked up once again. The Scotrail Legend has been fitted to the left hand end of the coach and the running number towards the right hand end of the coach. All waterside transfers are from Railtech. I've given them 24 hours to dry and harden to the surface of the gloss painted finish, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some Railmatch satin varnish to the lower side of the coach and also the Intercity grey band along the top above the windows. After I've done this, I'll allow it to dry before applying a second coat of the satin varnish, and then I shall remove all the masking tape. Fitting the body back onto the Oxford Mark III is a fairly straightforward process. You've just got to make sure the clips line up with the related points on the underframe before exerting a small amount of pressure on the body to clip it back into place. Before putting the body back on, I added some of the finer details, including the black handrail there. That was masked at both sides before very carefully with a small brush, hand painting Humbrol Satin Black number 85 and then removing the masking tape slowly. I think I've done a fairly good job there. The yellow jack lifting points are also painted using Railmatch Warning Yellow. Again, masked off half of the jack point and then very carefully hand brushed on with a flat brush the yellow. Then I added the steps. Anyone who's owned an Oxford Mark III will know these steps on the earlier batches certainly were very loose and fell off. The latter releases, such as the Scotrail, they were better fitted steps, even sometimes slightly glued in place. So be careful when you take them off, and also be careful when you put them back on that you don't bend the small lugs that go into the hole. And just as underneath the buffer there, you'll see the cable coming out at the end. Again, the cable clips into the end of the coach, and underneath it also locates into a small hole. But as I said when I took the body off, be careful with that detail, it is extremely fragile. So there we go, there's the finished coach. It's now ready to go back into service. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and followed it, and it was pretty self-explanatory of what I was trying to do there, and I hope you enjoyed the running shots at the end of the actual newly liveried Mark 3s in Scotrail. Will I do more? Possibly. Will I need more masking tape? Definitely. As I say, it's not difficult, it just takes preparation and great care as well. You've got to have patience to embark on a project like this. Before I go, I'd just like to thank a couple of people for their direct input and assistance with this. We've got Mike Wellsby from Hope Park Junction. He was the guy that gave me that bracket to hold the coaches in while I was spraying, and it was an absolute godsend of a product that he's come put together for me there, and for his advice on how to go about the actual process as well. And we've got Alex Carpenter of ABC Workshops. Again, he was helpful with his advice regarding these. Alex has a lot of repaints, reliveries, renumbering with his ABC Workshops projects, so he knows what he's talking about as well. So thanks to both of you for all your advice. And also, before I forget, thanks to Andy Hudson, who's always on hand to offer paint advice, especially when it comes to using acrylic paint. So guys, it's great that you can share your knowledge with me. I say, we're not in a competition here, it's all about sharing our different skills, and when I ask a question I always get a straightforward answer. So thanks very much, guys. Cheers just now.